It's important to fix your diet in order for your meditation practice to improve. So, if you're eating crap, fried food, sugar, you will notice that in your meditation because the mind is a subtle version of the body. The body is a grosser form of the mind. So they are interconnected. So what we are eating really, really matters as practitioners. Namaste, sweet friend. I'm going to be heading to India in just a few days for a retreat. Even though I host retreats in Bali, I'm constantly retreating myself. It's really important. I'm really looking forward to that. There's a lot of noise in the background. I'm going to try to, even though I don't want to do much editing, I'm going to insert a clip. There's a Balinese man. He's on the field and he's mowing the rice field. It's kind of beautiful. I told myself that I'm going to stop overthinking YouTube. I'm just going to get on here. We're going to chit chat. We're going to talk about the things that the world is just too full to talk about. And I'm just going to press record and go because, listen, if I don't do that, y'all never going to hear from me. Y'all never going to see me. I'm just going to be living my best life. But yeah, I want to share the journey with you. I really do. In this video, we're going to be talking about what I have learned from a decade of meditation. 10 years, y'all. 10 years. Like, I remember, like, when I was 15, people used to say, yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm like, how old are you? Like, 96? And I realized, like, your girl actually has 10 years of experience doing something. And I would love to share what I have learned along the way. So the first thing is any meditation that makes you feel dull, like you lose your personality. I feel like sometimes there's this illusion that when you start meditating, you start to talk like Eckhart Tolle or something. But that's just Eckhart Tolle's personality. You don't become dull just because you meditate. You become more vibrant. That's lesson number one. You become more of who you are. And your personality is not who you are. So it's okay to express your personality. Number two, there is a right and a wrong way to meditate. It's important to know that. Like, I remember when I first started my meditation journey, I thought it was just about as long as my eyes are closed and I'm sitting there means I'm meditating. Nope. You can absolutely be training your mind to have a bad habit of lethargy or excitement, and those habits are very difficult to undo. So it's good to learn the right way to meditate. Number three, the world is always going to be pulling you in a different direction. Like, hey, do the laundry. Hey, do this application. Hey, do this. But your meditation practice is what will sustain you so that you can do what is required of you on this earth over an extended amount of time. So your meditation practice really is more important than any of it, because without a stable mind, which is created from your meditation practice, we can't sustain any of this. We can't even do simple things like doing the laundry if we're too stressed and anxious. So prioritize your meditation. Number four, there is a mental affliction called procrastination. we're all we're all familiar with her or him. And it just tells you that, okay, I'll do it later. When does later come? It never comes. So do it now. I learned that it's better to have a shorter meditation that is of superb quality than to have a long meditation that is of low quality. Superb quality meaning that the mind is actually focused on a single point, on the drishti. Low quality meaning the mind is bouncing all over the place. 5 minutes of a high quality meditation, specifically a single pointed meditation, completely outdoes a meditation of 20 minutes, 30 minutes where your mind is jumping all over the place. I'm actually going to stop counting because I'm probably just going to lose track of counting. So yeah, let's just go with the flow. And guys, I'm so sorry if there's a lot of noise in the background. This is Bali. Sometimes there are unexpected sounds that come along the way. Next, meditation is a lifetime journey. So be patient with yourself. You're not going to see results overnight, but stick with it because it is worth it. You're essentially like undoing decades of instability, decades of trauma, decades of suffering with your meditation practice. So be wisely kind to yourself on the journey. Using applications for meditation is like application, meaning apps in the App Store for meditation, is like asking your personal trainer to work out for you. And in the beginning of meditation, it's good to use apps because you learn the directions from an external voice. But eventually, we get to the point where it's necessary to actually train the mind without external voices or sounds or YouTube videos. And you'll know when that time comes. Like for me, I started meditating with apps, and I did it for quite some time, and then I realized like, there's this external agent telling me how to sit, what to do with my mind, and that's cool, but what would it look like for me to actually train this mind or this muscle without an external source? So eventually it's necessary to get to that point. Your best will look different every single day. Like some days the meditation is not of the same quality, and it depends on so many factors, like what's going on in our life, what's going on in how we're eating, how we're caring for ourselves, the unexpected events that happen. So it's okay if you're 100% during your practice doesn't look the same every day. Maybe sometimes you sit for meditation and you realize like, oh my god, I can't even breathe right now. That's part of the journey. Don't give up too soon. It's not a quick fix. It's not a pill. This is some meditation is something that can transform your mind, your afflictions, your anger, your jealousy. All of it has the potential to uproot it, of course, with the right meditation practice. So don't give up too quickly. Next, you might notice that when you sit for meditation, your life, your mind, your afflictions get worse. It's like a very strange thing that happens during the beginning of the practice. And it's not that the meditation is causing it to get worse, it's just that it's finally revealing what is there beneath the surface so that we can actually acknowledge it and heal it. And that's a blessing. So stick through that difficult season and get support, get a coach, get a teacher if necessary to support you through that difficult season. Anyone who promises you some esoteric experience through meditation is just they're just trying to take your money. Don't be attached to shiny objects and shiny teachers, and it's really all so simple. It's important to fix your diet in order for your meditation practice to improve. So if you're eating crap, fried food, sugar, and you will notice that in your meditation because the mind is a subtle version of the body. The body is a grosser form of the mind. So they are interconnected. So what we are eating really, really matters as practitioners. Meditation as a means is an appointment with yourself. It's a doing. Meditation as an end is being. So it's a practice until it's a verb until it becomes a noun. And your meditation practice, if somehow it's making you more judgmental, like making you feel like, oh, I'm disassociating myself from these kind of people, and this vibration is too low for me, and I'm gonna stay over here. Something is going wrong. Meditation is meant to increase your capacity to be compassionate. And that's not saying that when you meditate, you then become kumbaya and you even embrace people who are negative. No. But if there's this judgmental nature arising in your mind, the more you meditate, then we really need to go back to the drawing board and look at what kind of meditation are you doing. If it's creating a sense of superiority, like you are better and you know more. So always check your ego during your meditation practice. And meditation has taught me that I'm worthy of being alive. I remember like there were days right through my anxiety and my depression, my fear. I've had really difficult seasons in my life. And then sitting in the seat of meditation and realizing like, oh, I'm actually perfect and complete. And I know that there are things to work on, but you are actually perfect and complete. And through that space of like, beyond these afflictions and everything that's sitting on top of that perfection, meditation is a safe space where we can actually see ourselves, that we do have that Christ like nature, that we do have that Buddha nature in us. And it can be difficult to see that when the world is just so loud and busy all the time. And meditation has helped me to have glimpses of that perfection, which is in me and you and really in everything. Forgiving myself is one of the most important skills, and I call it a skill very intentionally because there are days and there are times, whether it's because you're traveling or because you're busy or because the anger strikes and then you have to spend 3 days recovering from from that anger, or the full moon strikes, whatever happens, and then we skip our practice. You have to forgive yourself and start over. You have to forgive yourself and start over. You have to forgive yourself and really bridge the gap between the falling off track, forgetting to practice, the self beat up and self loathing, and just starting over. Just remove the self loathing from the center and just fall off and start over again. So, the more that you learn to forgive yourself on this journey, the deeper you go into your practice, because you notice that the falling off and the all of it is part of the journey. It isn't like separate, it isn't standing in the way of the journey, it is part of the journey. And this video is getting a little long. Shall we do like a part two? We can do a part two because there's so much. I can go on and on and on and on, but we'll stop here. I would love to learn some of the things. Well, I would love to know how long you have been practicing and what have you learned through your practice. I will say that I recognize that I have not necessarily shared anything that you may not even know. So you don't need a decade of practicing to know what I have told you. You're familiar with it. You've heard it. But I do recognize within myself that there is a difference between insight and information. It's one thing to know intellectually, and it's another thing to embody. So I will add that to the list, that meditation has helped me to really ground in and embody a lot of these things that I've shared with you today. I knew them like way before I even started on my meditation journey, but to actually have the lived experience is a different like level of living. Like I see, almost like I see the world through different pair of glasses, and it's beautiful. So looking forward to hearing from you, dear friend. Namaste.